Cool. We'll move on to Unity then. A lot of questions have come in on Unity nodes, both in the chat and prior to this call. But I wonder, Mickey, if you could give a recap of the announcement of Unity nodes, what it means for EarthNode operators and EarthNode rewards to begin.
Sure. The recap is Unity was launched very fairly by Minutes Network and World Mobile Treasury Services. And it was, I think, a surprise. It shouldn't have been to the people that have been listening, because we gave some indication it was coming out, but we wanted a very fair launch. There are several rounds of Unity that the Minutes Network token team will be announcing over the next couple of days. Those rounds really reward loyal holders and accumulators, but there'll be more details to follow on that. In terms of what it does for the EarthNode network, for the World Mobile ecosystem, think of the data it's going to be processing. So when we validate tests that coming from mobile network operators, ISPs, institutions, individual entities that want some verification on whether an app works, an SMS is being delivered, whether the stability of a particular, like Ookla as an example, stability of a typical line in a certain country, all of that data is then passed to the EarthNode network. But it's more than that. There's also breakout VPNs that will carry from the EarthNodes to an end device on the edge network. And there's more and more and more that can come. All it does is brings more information that needs to be verified, stored, or more jobs that then get passed through the different modules that are running on the EarthNode. So it's an additional revenue stream, and one that I'm very excited about. The industry, as it stands today, probably sits somewhere in the $300 billion, $400 billion revenue annually for this particular niche within telecom, but I think it can grow as well. And the key is having a very large edge network so that you can take all the jobs that come in and execute on all of those jobs. So we plan to become, hopefully, Unity to become the leading testing platform for all telecoms. And the subscription can be very, very high. We'll be as transparent as we can be as time as we bring more companies in and we finish the biz dev. But it's just the beginning. And actually, I've got Josh here. So if anybody wanted to ask him any questions about Unity, he's the best equipped to answer those.
There are lots of questions that I'm about to read out, so that's perfect. On the timeline then, so a few questions have come in on when EarthNode operators will be able to run Unity nodes. So with Unity nodes going live in October, is that going to be the case straight away, or will it take some time?
Yeah, it's automatic. The data gets fed straight to the EarthNode network. Now, of course, we need the EarthNode network to be live, but Josh has been testing with the Minutes Network team and the internal team on the private EarthNode as it stands today. So as soon as the EarthNode network is up and running and able to take tasks, Unity will already be feeding it tasks.
Awesome. And we have a couple of questions from Dodo that came in. So first one, regarding the Unity node administration portal, I expect that the login to the managing portal will be done via wallet login so that your NFT will be checked. Right. Will other...
just lost you for a second. Repeat that question, please.
Sorry. I expect that the login to the managing portal will be done via wallet login. So you'll be able to use, so will you be able to use your NFT to log in?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, that's the way it's designed, both on the application and the web portal.
Awesome. And then will other actions inside the portal, like putting licenses up for lease in the in-app marketplace or things like that, require you to sign any transactions?
Dependent entirely upon user preference. The login with the NFT will actually cater for all future sort of authorization required. When NFTs are required a transfer or they're sold, then you will need to obviously sign in your wallet.
Okay. And then we've got a few more questions from Dodo on the revenue projection as well. So the 19.2K per node with all 200 licenses fully active for a 5K investment is giving people scam vibes. You also said in the AMA that this is a conservative estimation. How do you come to this conclusion?
Based on the size of the market and the services we're provided, there's just nobody else doing this in this large of a manner. The revenue that can be generated, and it is new revenue that we'll be bringing to the network, is phenomenally massive. And please do note that it is up to the amount that you mentioned.
Also,
Yeah, just to add to that, we didn't pull these figures from our ass either. We've already had. I think there's a cool video that's going to go out quite soon from the Minutes Network account.
Absolutely.
That shows quite a lot of devices running Unity itself. So we have had this up and running for over 6-7 months, and already have the clients in that are sending, and that is based on what we've seen, the numbers. Actually, it's higher than what we've put on the calculator. For legal terms, not to send everybody absolutely crazy. But in reality, these are numbers that we're seeing. We're not saying everybody is going to earn that, and there's no guarantee here. But there's a good chance with the hundreds of devices that we already have running for the last few months to see that some will definitely be making and receiving great jobs that will earn them great rewards and enable them to literally mine the cryptocurrency of their choice.
Brilliant. Question from EarthNode. So if a Unity node operator runs 200 mobile devices out of the same location, how does this help test the issues at the edge of their network? Will data be collected by these devices actually be useful for T1 or T2 carriers paying for the data?
Yeah, of course, very, very useful. There's currently, from what we can tell, the edge network for testing. There's companies out there with 200 devices or 1,000 devices, or of course, it's very useful, especially if they have a SIM in, right? If they have a SIM plugged in, there's a lot of testing that we can do. If they don't have a SIM plugged in, of course, there's limited testing that we can do, but still lots of tests that we can perform on the local networks and through the SIP protocol and a few of the other things that telecom companies need, like jitter and latency and all the things that huge VoIP providers that are providing for governments or for big entities or for huge call centers. They need to know this information. It's very hard for them to get it. So it will be very useful information for a lot of people. And it's just the beginning, because Unity is a platform that can be built upon. And then the beautiful thing for me is that people will come, they'll build applications because there's so many edge network devices out there. Those applications will generate revenue, but ultimately it brings it back to World Mobile and World Mobile Chain, because everything is processed through the World Mobile EarthNodes and then sent up to the World Mobile Chain, and everything costs WMTX.
Awesome.
So it's very valuable. It's very valuable for carriers. It's very valuable for us.
Brilliant. Question from Mick. Mick Midwest. How many companies are currently using Unity?
I think we probably have somewhere between 12 to 13 different large companies that are using Unity, and the biz dev hasn't started yet. It's all been an investment into tech and making things happen over the last year and a half. But now we're at the point probably where we can start to increase and show what we've got to. I mean, Josh was recently, in fact, yesterday at a carrier conference talking and discussing Unity with some large carriers and global names. But we will also start to send people out. We've already contacted a bunch a while ago, so they know that we're building something special. But now it's time to bring their tests onto the Unity platform.
And then, are there already contracts with carriers lined up to use the service going forward?
Yeah.
Question is from
There's traffic running now on private licenses, right? We can't just turn them off because they're running and they're ready to generate revenue immediately for Unity license holders and Unity node operators. So at the minute the network goes live, the minute we push that traffic across live, and it's just the beginning.
Cool. Question from Clover. Do the locked WMTX, MNTX required to operate the Unity node become stakeable, and do they generate additional rewards when staked?
So actually, no. and they do not generate additional rewards when they are staked. The rewards that are generated are purely from the use of the services that Unity provides.
Okay, that's a clear answer. Question from Hooper: can Unity run with decentralized EarthNodes?
With centralized EarthNodes or decentralized EarthNodes, Unity can run. Yes, Unity's already been built to work with the EarthNode network with one private node. As soon as the EarthNode network is up and distributed and decentralized, then it will work with all of the nodes and work with the consensus to pass the jobs around.
Okay. What are the differences of running the Unity license with or without a SIM? What rewards will the non-SIM be missing out on?
The rewards that come in that require a SIM. I know that sounds like a silly answer, but that is the answer, right? With a SIM, you get a telephone number. With a SIM, you can receive SMS. With a SIM, you can have a breakout cellular data route. With a SIM, there's lots of different things that you can do. But we base this on SIMless and with SIM. So the reward calculator, when you're on Wi-Fi, it doesn't mean you'll get zero. In fact, you'll still have lots of different jobs that you can do. If you look at, just as an example, Ookla speed test, they ran $25 million, $28 million revenue in 2024, mostly from home internet connection analysis. But there's a lot more stuff that we'll be doing beyond that, right? That's just another feature. A lot of the stuff that's happening is the intercarrier stability and understanding of quality of pipes, routes, legs, etc. But Josh is more versed to tell you about that testing. But I also believe that there's a paper coming out that is going to explain a lot of this.
Okay, awesome. A question from Glenn. So, do you have enough work lined up yet, or will the job pool run out if too many people start using the system at the same time?
Could you please repeat that question? The line here is actually a little bit choppy. We need World Mobile.
No worries. So on Unity, is there enough work lined up yet? I guess for EarthNode operators, or will the job
There's a
pool...
huge amount of work lined up. Operators are consistently reaching out to provide, additional workload that we're already taking. Okay, and the larger our network of edge devices, then the larger the revenue that we're going to be able to generate. So huge amounts of tasks, and there's a vast amount of varieties of tasks as well. These tasks are not limited to the things that have been posted on social media by some of the community members and the public. There are tens and tens of different possibilities, and over time we will continue to expand. Unity is a growing network, and we intend, as Mickey said earlier in the call, for it to be the largest network of its type as well.
Look, this call is also being recorded, so I don't want to give away too much to competitors, but really what we have created as well from let's say the GSMA. I'm not telling you it's been signed, but let's say the GSMA, they have licenses. They give licenses to mobile network operators and MVNOs. One of the largest problems in telecom is robocalling, right? Robocalling can be for several reasons, but ultimately it's to sell something to a person or to defraud a person. It's really difficult to understand, even for a mobile carrier, which numbers are being used for this particular spam. So with Unity, we're also creating a platform that you're able to receive calls, read the address book for those calls, see the amount of seconds that they were connected for or rang for, and then identify across a network what is a spam call, and then give alerts, much like antivirus, immediately to the mobile network operators. Now, they will pay subscriptions of hundreds of thousands of dollars a week for it, right? So they have all of this information out there, but they can't gather it properly because they don't have that many devices. They don't have their legacy. They don't have the apps on the phone like Unity that allows them to collect this kind of information.
Huge revenue loss on the carrier and enterprise side.
So there's so many things that Unity will do. Really what Unity is a distributed large edge network that takes jobs from industry wide. And that's just the beginning, by the way. There's other things that Unity can do, not just testing. But we, as World Mobile, as Minutes Network, the jobs that are the most sustainable testing, they're out there right now. But the innovation that will come and be built on top of that is going to be crazy, because people will think of ideas that we didn't think about. You know, just think as an example, OTP, right? So you register Telegram, you register WhatsApps, you register Ubers, you register Deliveroos, you register DoorDash, you register to Disney, you register with a telephone number. You know, just a Unity node, someone building on Unity nodes and Unity node operator, then passing that down to their license holders. You know, each one of those OTPs is 50 cents, and you've got 300 services. So yes, there's so many ways that Unity can make revenue. We're fully focused as World Mobile, as Minutes Network, on the testing suite, the testing element, because we know people that need that, and we need that. But other people will create a lot of innovation around having this edge network.
Fantastic. There are a lot of Unity questions in the chat. I'm going to read out the ones that I think will have quick fire answers, because we have to close this within a couple of minutes. But if if any question doesn't get answered, just tag me and I will note it down and see if I can get you an answer after this call. So a few more here. Can you run Unity on iPads or tablets with cellular capability?
The answer is yes, sure.
Awesome. Another question: what will be done to help Unity node operators market their licenses?
The marketplace internally that Unity hosts is massive. Okay, it's going to create a lot of exposure automatically, and we intend for that exposure to become viral. There are a few different elements of viral sort of media and marketing involved. We really look forward to releasing all of that information. That will be coming in an announcement in the very, very near future.
And from a technical perspective, you'll be able to choose to automatically list your unused licenses in a marketplace that then you can attract people to. Other community members can attract people to with their affiliate codes, and of course, we will do a marketing campaign around that as well.
Each with a digital contract that enables you to agree on a settlement fee in advance, and you can literally, have people use those as seats automatically, as Mickey described.
Awesome. And then we'll close with a couple more questions. One from Dilpri: are payouts in fiat or crypto converted to fiat?
However you want, but you're subject to pay the fee. So if you wanted a bank wire, there's probably a bank charge fee. You need to make sure that you cover that. But you can have it in stables, you can have it in fiat, or you can have it in the cryptocurrencies that are supported by the Unity platform.
Awesome. And then final question from Compost Man: will Unity start operating in October even if not all nodes have been sold?